OK, time for our Salt of the Day number 3. Teddy Taylor. Euro-rebel spoke to our reporter, Martin Peeve. And amongst other things, Martin quizzed him quite closely about youth culture.
So what about computer games and that kind of thing?
Oh, they're terrible things, these, aren't they? Goodness gracious me, we've got some in our household and the kids like them. But I think there's an awful danger that you're going to have a lot of kids growing up who seem to spend all their life stuck in a household.
Absorbing some of the weird culture that tends to be spewing out of it. Chronic the drug wasp, for example.
Oh, goodness, yes, but I think you'll find that that's something which most people don't come in contact with.
But it does seem to be something that's growing, and that's the problem. And obviously, if you look at America that you mentioned, you see a role model there, you see urban violence, you see all kinds of things. You have the Lee Harvey Oswald computer game, All the President's Brains. Andy Spazchrist, a character which is perhaps one of the most morally reprehensible characters ever invented by man.
Well, you're quite right. I mean, one of the problems we've got now with the removal of borders, we used to be able to control these things more actively, but now, of course, you've got places like Holland where everything seems to go, and I'd like to have the power to stop nasty things like that.
Holland, indeed, have produced an extremely feckless computer game, which doesn't even have any point. Derek the Dullard, who just walks into things.
Holland worries me, quite honestly, because all the standards we used to think were important for Britain seem to be going there. I would like to stop all these horrible things.
Do you think we suffer from a sort of leakage of fecklessness from Holland in that direction with Derek the Dullard and others?
Oh, there's no doubt at all. I'm afraid you can't stop things like this coming in.
Do you seriously think that we may have imported from Germany such degradation as Dr. Piss and the homeless headbangers slaughter innocent shoppers, or will that stay in Berlin?
Well, it's going to be more difficult to stop it coming from Berlin because of the removal of border controls. And the only way
it's like a sort of rabies. It's like a kind of...
You're quite right. I mean, the only way we can do this is by having national controls, because I think the average family doesn't want this kind of thing.
But how can we do that when the replication is so simple, the communication is so fast, and the homeless headbangers can be wandering around with their wicked weapons, inflicting all kinds of damage in urban areas?
We'll have to have some kind of international control, for example, of television. I think there will be a great revival of straightness. But it won't be the EC, it'll have to be done internationally.
If some reckless youngster who is a fan of Derek the Dullard was in your presence right now, how would you convert them from that into an increased person of straightness?
I'd say, come and join my local football club.